Okay, so just to roll straight into it, I'm guessing, particularly, or maybe only Samura, you guys are probably going to want to take a long rest and get some rest in. So this, not necessarily just last session, but the current day that you're in, you arrived back in Westgate from spending the night in Waterdeep. Samura engaged in the fight in the Quivering Thumb. Anya and Eartha, you invested some money in the Quivering Thumb and became shareholders. The key went missing, and so on and so forth. You got mixed up with some guards trying to figure out why there was a dead body in a hotel room. So on and so forth. So Samura particularly, you're pretty tuckered out from that big fight with a hill giant, Lugo the Crusher. So you pretty much last session resolved everything with the guards and so forth. So Eartha, you had spoken with a local called Mumushi, who kind of facilitated by a supposed Red Knight. Who kind of introduced the two of you. You kind of agreed to help him with an issue. He wasn't very specific. He didn't really go into details. He just told you that there's kind of something to do with, your namesake being Slaver's Bane, kind of a particular issue that you can help with. Kind of invited you to do so, and also asked you to bring your friends. So you're to meet him at the Westlight Harbour this evening. So you guys can go ahead and, probably go back to Aurora's or something like that and get some rest before you're supposed to meet him. So, first of all, just if you've lost any health or spell slots or, anything that you get back over a rest, make sure to give yourself that back, just in case. Is there anything anyone would like to do? I'll just go around, so I'll start with Ellis, then Jackson, then Jess. Is there anything anyone would like to do before you go to meet Mumushi, or for Anya and Samura? Just, you probably don't really know what's happening. Just Eartha's probably just mentioned you've got something else to do at night. So Eartha, do you have anything you would like to do? Just having a quick coughing fit. Eartha, do you have anything you would like to do before you go to meet Mumushi? Anything you'd like to seek in the city, or anything you would like to talk to anyone about?
I believe I'll probably have like a notepad or something on me, right? Like a notepad and a pen.
Sure, yeah.
I would like to try and memorize the face of the fuck who stole the key and try sketch it. I'm assuming it shouldn't be too bad, because I'm assuming I've probably drawn maps in the past for when I've done battles and stuff, but I'm not sure if that actually counts as stuff I could do.
You're not like a trained artist, but you've probably done stuff. Like you've probably done like calligraphy, like fancy writing, and like some cartography, stuff like that. So I'll say I'll give you advantage on the roll. So I'll say, what check would this be? Maybe a performance check. Does that sound, or like a sleight of hand? Which would you prefer?
Performance, very much performance.
Sure.
16.
Make a performance check to see if you can sketch this guy.
I got a 16.
16. Obviously, like you're not like a trained artist, so like it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. It catches his likeness as you remember it. If an artist was to look at it, they might critique some things about the shading and line composition and so forth. But for the purposes of what you need, it kind of looks like a shrunken down wanted poster on a page in a ledger that you keep in your satchel. You can you can refer back to. So just to reiterate the guy's description, kind of in terms of real world, kind of think Middle Eastern. In terms of in the game world, probably somewhere like Kalamshan or Ammon, kind of to the south, kind of very sandy, pseudo exotic regions. So kind of like brown, sun-kissed skin, not like dark brown, but like a kind of a yellow, a browning yellow. kind of long black hair. Kind of when you saw him, it was done up into like a man bun or a ponytail, and kind of a groomed, close to the chin, close to the face, black beard, matching his hair. And obviously wearing the armor of a cleric or a paladin of the Red Knight. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Aether? Any sendings or anything?
I haven't taken a long rest yet, have I?
Cool. No, but you can choose to, like, this is just for before you meet Mumushi, so if there's any you'd like to send after a long rest, you can do that now if you like.
Nah, it's alright.
Cool. So we'll just say you're like, yeah, I mean, since you got a good role, but you're not a trained artist, we'll say, you know, it takes you a fair amount of time as you kind of rest to sketch that out. So that takes up, you know, you kind of just slowly work on it. Samurai, Jackson, is there anything Samurai would like to do over this? It'll probably be about, it's probably a little ways past midday, probably like early afternoon when you kind of finished at the hotel and you're meeting Mumushi in the evening. So you're probably killing like 6 to 8 hours. So you've got plenty of time to do something.
So obviously I'll long rest, and then I'll after my long rest, I'll get up, and with my quilt and paper, I will write a letter to Icky, and I'll entail it about my travels to Westgate, my time in Baldur's Gate, and also Candlekeep, how I've made some friends, grown friendship, about my times battling the Stone Giant. Maybe say also I fought a lion with my bare fists. Just take Alice's story and just take it as my own.
Yeah, make it your own. Nice. Yeah.
I'll sign it off, and then I'll get a candle in my room, or if there's a fire pit would work, and I'll just burn it.
Cool. You're writing it for yourself. Cool. Yeah. But so the letter was like written to Icky, but you're just writing it for Samurai's sake.
As if I would normally send it to her, but obviously I know she's not there, so she can't get it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So you probably a candle. You find a candle and you watch it kind of slowly turn into ash as the flame creeps up the parchment and falls at the feet of the candle. Is there anything else Samurai would like to do before this evening?
I'll just head downstairs. I presume we're in some sort of... We're at Aurora's, aren't we?
Yeah, you'll just be... You're all just kind of chilling in different parts of Aurora's area, or somewhere else if you have any specific requirement.
I'll just get like a drink. Just like a water or something, and relax until Ellis says we've got to go.
Cool. What about you, Anya? Would Anya like to do anything or anything before or during or after this kind of 8 hours of downtime?
No.
Yeah, no worries. So, you guys get yourselves sorted. Eartha, you sketch the face of the man that you had seen with Mumushi earlier in the day. Samurai, you write this letter to Icky, which you burn, and Anya, you kill some time waiting for the evening to come. So Eartha, as kind of the sun begins to set, that kind of billowy pink-orange sunset begins to rise over the outside of Westgate, and the night begins to blacken. You kind of figure now is about time to head north towards the harbour, past the market to the harbour, to see if you can find Mumushi for whatever it was he was talking about. Cool. So Eartha will stir you guys up, collect you guys, and head out. So as you walk through the city, it's kind of like it's very early in the evening, sun's only just set, so nothing, like it's not bustling, but it's not quiet either, kind of just groups walking around, going from tavern to tavern, going from house to house, people leaving in the market. This isn't like Baldur's Gate, where the market closed at night. The market still appears to be active at night. In Baldur's Gate, the wide market was just like a vast sand pit on night times. Like everyone took all of their stalls and wagons out, but that's not the case here in Westgate. The market is obviously less busy, less shops and less customers, but there are still people selling goods and buying goods. But you walk past on the street that kind of licks around the side of the market, also with Jade. who is now with you once more, and continue. Just in case I forget, even though you lost the key, don't forget you still have the box. So you still have a lead-lined box if you have anything, if you ever want to hide something. Again. So as you guys eventually get to the harbor, and it's still not dark out, like the oil lanterns around the city are lit, but the sun hasn't fully set. You can see it on the horizon in the distance. But yeah, like the waters of the harbor are kind of lit up a nice shade of orange. You eventually do find the figure that Eartha recognizes as this Mumushi, this kind of olden Shao man. Shao in real world terms being like Chinese, so think like that kind of along those lines, kind of bald on the top, but with like tufts of white hair at the sides of his head that kind of go up to a point almost. Very skinny, very scrawny, but fairly tall. This time not wearing a cloak, just kind of completely bare chest, but wearing like some agile kind of short pantaloons and no shoes or socks. He's kind of sitting on a imagine like a wooden jetty. Have you ever seen like a jetty that's missing like planks? Kind of looks like it's crumbling apart. He's kind of just sitting cross-legged in the middle of one of those crumbling jetties that kind of, not a long one, maybe like goes 10 feet out into the water, but there's no boats tied to it because it's crumbling to pieces, but it's kind of like a few hop, skips and jumps over some missing planks. He's kind of just sitting cross-legged, facing away from you, facing towards the water, probably waiting for you. So what would you guys like to do?
I'll pat her from the back and be like, well, this is your friend, buddy. And like at the second pat, I'll just kind of like make it also like a bit of a push, not like in a rude way, but like just like a push forward, so he's like one step ahead of the rest of us.
Sure.
I'll step forwards and kind of give like a cough, but not like the cough you do to like try to get someone's attention. It's like a
yeah, like that. Look at me cough. Sure. Yeah. Without looking at you, but kind of like a slight movement in the neck, kind of almost acknowledging your presence. You hear Mumushi begin to talk. You've come. Very good. He kind of like that click from his neck kind of travels down his spine as he kind of sits up straight and begins to stand, still looking away from you at the minute, just kind of enjoying the scene in the water. There was once a small band of men and women who devoted themselves to the protection of Westgate's Shao population. We were called the 9 Golden Swords, but we have not seen hide nor hair of each other in a long time. At this point, he kind of begins to turn around, facing you guys. You can kind of see one of the harbor is pretty standard harbor for the most part. Boats, jetties, piers, blah blah blah. Kind of the two most standout features, and one of them isn't surprising. There's the Westlight. There's the Westlight lighthouse, which isn't particularly surprising for a harbor, on the kind of northern tip of the bay. But there is also another tower that's just kind of out in the water. It's not out in open water, like in the ocean. It's still in the Bay of Westgate, like within the city's water. But there is just a tower with no bridge or no pier that goes out to it. It's just surrounded on all sides by water of the bay. And you can see, actually, could everyone make a perception check? You can see kind of green, these kind of shimmering shapes and lights kind of dancing around the tower. But Eartha, what was your perception check? No, Jackson, what was yours? Because you've done yours.
It wasn't the house. It's a 1.
Well, it's not an important thing, so don't worry about it. But feel bad. Ellis?
30.
30? Very well, okay. Jess?
15.
15. Yeah, so, Samara, you're kind of, you haven't even been awake that long. You woke up and wrote a letter, and that's a lot for one,
groggy.
Yeah, your sleeping schedule has been knocked. You got beaten up by a giant, which you then killed, and now you're kind of like, well, so you're out of it. Anya, you can pretty clearly make out that these are the shapes of kind of small animals. So this tower that's just out in the water, you can see these like the spectral green. These spectral shapes of animals dancing around the outside of the tower, kind of starting at the bottom, coming out of the water, and dancing all the way up to the tip of the tower. And kind of like emanating this green light, very like kind of spooky looking, but also kind of calming and like very pleasing to watch. But Eartha, with a roll that high, you can make out exactly. They appear to be foxes and birds specifically that are dancing around the outside. Just these green, like thousands, just dancing around at night. You haven't really been at the harbour at night, but at nighttime with these like green lights dancing around the outside, this is like the most like eye-drawing thing here. So he kind of motions towards this tower with the spectral foxes, the green spectral foxes and birds dancing around the exterior. Kind of just motions at it nonchalantly. Stopata Raikal, the Nine's wizard, built that tower and lives within, though he has become a recluse. You, looking at you, Samara, Birdman, I know not how to enter that place. Your wings should be of aid. Now, oh yeah.
I mean, it's now he's pointed out. Can I tell? Does it seem like magical, so to speak?
Oh yes, I won't even make you make a check. Like it's definitely some sort of illusory effect.
It's by far most likely illusion magic, maybe trap magic. I don't really want to die.
You will do that one. He turns back to the water, and then kind of from the water turns towards the city's east end. Chukao, the Nine's spiritualist, now operates a small shrine to Shantea, goddess of life and bounty, in the east end. Slaver's Bane, you are a man of faith. You will go to her. Kind of gives you a moment to say anything if you want to.
Yeah, is there any reason why we're seeking them out now?
I'll get to it. He turns back towards the city. He turns back towards like the bulk of the city, and you kind of see this one. He kind of looks almost like you notice. He didn't really seem to give anything away when he looked at the tower. When he looked towards the city's east end, when he was telling you where to go, Eartha, he kind of, you notice he like smiled a little bit. But now, as he looks towards the bulk of the city, he very much frowns. Looks kind of like he's not a fan of this one. Gray, the Nine's master of subterfuge, makes a living out of embarrassing corrupt merchants in the city's markets. She is half-elf and Shao. Easy to spot when you know who you are looking for. Bard. She will take some convincing, I think. So you will go to the markets and look for her. He kind of enjoys the silence for a minute. Tell them whatever it is that they need to hear to join us later tonight here. And then bring them back. Are there any other questions? Slaver's Bane. I told you briefly I wanted to help some oppressed people in Westgate. I do not care to divulge further into that until you bring the rest here. But we will not be able to do this without them, so this is of the utmost importance.
Not a problem.
Do you all understand what it is you are to do?
Yeah.
I'll nod.
Very good. I will be here. Bring them.
Who am I
He
getting
kind of
again?
sits back on the jetty.
That's the DM.
You are looking for a woman. So what he told you, he said Chukao, Chouko. The Nine's spiritualist now operates a small shrine to Shantea, goddess of life and bounty, in the East End. Same as Bane, you are a man of faith. You will go to her.
Can I say to Jade? Jade, I don't think I can carry you. And like watch her like kind of like pat her belly like I'm not fat, and so to speak, without saying anything, and go. So you can go with Anya.
Sure. She takes like a step back to Anya's side, kind of swivels her helmet to look at Anya, and then back to you, as if to say, like, I understand.
Cool.
So, are you guys splitting off, going to do your bits?
Yeah, I'll just start flying. I'll try and fly cautiously, not to alert anyone or upset anyone, basically.
So yeah, Samara, we'll start with you. You take to the air. This tower is about 50, 60 feet out, so it's not too far out. You quickly, get to the perimeter of it, and you can quite clearly see now these green spectral, foxes and birds kind of dancing in circles around the outside of the tower, going to the peak from the water. You kind of give it a lap. You don't see any sort of door or anything like that. Yeah, like I said, there's no bridge or anything that connects the two to the land or anything like that.
Can I dispel magic on the tower?
Sure.
Do you want me to get the exact thing for dispel magic?
No, sure. What level are you casting it at?
Oh, 1 minute. Let me quickly grab it up just to make sure I'm not ruining myself here. I'll just quickly Google it because it's hard to find. Dispel magic. So, dispel magic. Choose one object first. Any spell 3rd level or lower. And for each spell of 4th level or higher, make an ability check. Cool. I'm just going to use it, and if it's a spell of 3rd level or lower, it instantly goes. And for 4th level of higher, I have to make an ability check.
Cool. Yeah, let's do that. Sure. So make an ability check.
So the DC, by the way, is 10 plus the spell's level. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to make an Arcana check, or what type of check?
Just make a Arcana check. That'll do.
I believe that's plus A. Yeah, so I got 19.
19. You see the spectral images on the outside of the tower begin to kind of peter out and flicker out as they reach the top, and no more seem to come from the bottom.
Well, and now, is there an entrance now? Is there any sort of like magic door being resolved?
You don't see any door or anything. Do you want to make a perception check?
Yeah. Sight's a +6. That's not 20.
Not 20, yeah. You see there appears to be something on the top of the tower, but it's not a door.
Can I go investigate it?
Sure. Make an Arcana check.
16.
16. You see a teleportation circle on the roof of the tower, but you see some kind of added symbology and runes to the exterior that after a few moments of kind of studying it, you realize it's a teleportation circle, but it's locked. It has a key, so to speak. You see 8 symbols that appear to be related to the key on the outside. So I've just put them in our group chat space, just in case. But could you make another Arcana check?
Can I ask, how many animals were flying around the outside?
Thousands, hundreds, a lot.
Okay, I was just double checking it wasn't 8. I feel like it could have been handy. I got a 15.
15. Yeah, it takes you a second, but you very quickly realize these are the 8 symbols that represent each school of magic.
Okay. So, do I have to shoot each spell into here, or do I have to figure out which? Any of them lit up, or like any of them not lit up? Okay.
You've used a few teleportation circles now. I guess predominantly you've used one going somewhere once. And you saw when Aurora used her not Aurora, when Lilianor used her kind of metaphorical key to go through her teleportation circle with you guys from Westgate to Waterdeep. Yeah, all of the kind of, when it's dormant, it's kind of just white chalk on the ground, and when it's activated, it kind of glows blue, kind of the light stretches out. You can see it's all dormant at the minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna... Right, okay. This is an awful idea. I need to quickly read this before I do it. I'm gonna die. Does it have to be somewhere I can see? Damn, I have to be able to see. Oh, right. Can I put Abba, pocket dimension, 10 feet under my feet, which is the roof, summon him again?
I don't know, can you?
I know I can, just if it's an empty room, obviously it'll work. If it's a wall, I'm pretty sure he just dies instantly.
You can do that without seeing?
I don't think I have to be able to see to put my familiar through something, because I think that's how we did it the other
I'm pretty sure, didn't you make like a crack in the vault and couldn't you see through?
I think we could, but I don't know if I needed to. I'll have a quick glance over.
Yeah, have a quick look. Yeah, no worries. Just while you're doing that, we'll cut over to Eartha. So, Eartha, where are you going? Do you remember?
The shrine.
Very good. So you're going to you're looking out for a shrine dedicated to kind of this goddess of agriculture and farming and bounty and life, Chontea. So you head towards, you cross the one bridge in the city previously where Samara had met Lara Thylar earlier in the day. You cross that bridge into the East End, or otherwise known as Showtown. And this area is very much like, imagine kind of like the medieval version of Chinatown. Like, this is where all of these people who have immigrated from Shaolong, Karator, Karator being the continent, Shaolong being one of the countries, Kozakura, just all these eastern countries, all these eastern immigrants have kind of settled in this place. So I'll leave that up to you. Do you want to make a perception or an investigation check to try and find the shrine?
Perception.
Sure, go for it.
$26.
26, cool. After about, not like very quickly, you kind of start darting through the streets of Showtown looking for a specific thing. And at first, you're kind of you're looking for a temple, you're looking for a building. You kind of notice a lot of the people here seem to be quite poor, so you kind of readjust what you're looking for, and very quickly you find just a small outdoor shrine with some symbology you recognize as belonging to Chontea. And you see there not quite as old as Mumushi, but so not elderly, but an older woman, kind of with grey hair up into a bun, wearing kind of robes of green and yellow, kind of representing Chontea's colors, who you think could be Choco. But just to give you a chance to take a breath and think, we'll cut back to Samara. So what was it you'd like to try, Samara?
So, find familiar. It doesn't say, like, the best it says is wear it away to summon. Like, it just says I have to use an action to summon. It doesn't say I have to see where it's summoned. It doesn't say I don't have to see. It just kind of doesn't say anything about being able to see where it's going.
Cool.
Just stays within range. So I guess that's up to you.
Sure, let me think. So 10 feet would be... No, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so... you feel Abba remanifest 10 feet below you.
I'll look through his eyes.
So yeah, you close your eyes, and now you are looking through your frog familiar's eyes, and you see a not like dark, but not light, kind of a dimly lit space. You are very clearly in like an attic-esque space, but you do see kind of a spiraling staircase, like the edge of a spiraling staircase that goes down. But this space you're currently in appears to be, it's very dusty and cobwebby, kind of like probably a lot of attics. But yeah, kind of just junk up here. You see a few books, but like the quick glance you get at them, they don't appear to be anything of any particular note or anything like that.
I try and get him to, like, can I just make a move around and look around for like an attic door down? I don't want to misty step in to then get stuck in that room next.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so you kind of get to the top of the staircase and you see this tower appears to be I mean, you saw it on the outside, so you would have seen at least, you know, you're not quite sure how deep under the water the tower goes, but in terms of surface, like surface of the water to the height of the tower was about 50 feet. From the top of this staircase, you can see about 10 feet below, kind of goes down to another floor, and you can see the spiral staircase continues down. Obviously, you can't see where it goes. It appears to be a little different, but also more of the same, kind of still quite choked with dust and cobwebs and so forth, and full of junk. But you can see kind of imagine like diagonal latticework shelves for like scrolls and stuff like that, kind of circling the walls, things like that.
I'll just misty step into the attic then, and I'll...
Sure. So you kind of come out, you reopen your eyes, and yeah, misty step down. So misty step doesn't require you to see, or do you use Abba's sight?
I use Abba's sight.
Cool, sure. So you kind of plummet into that dimly lit attic space.
Then I will snap my fingers real quick and let mage armor go on.
Cool. So yeah, this purple glowing kind of spectral armor, kind of just like the foxes and birds that had been outside, kind of, but armor and purple kind of glows around your form.
And I want to prepare my action to misty step, but at the same time, I want to like start working my way down the tower, and also like making sure I say well in advance of seeing anyone, "Hello, I'm in your tower." Like, you know, like just like Samurai will be like, hello, anyone there? I mean no harm," and then like also like being prepared to misty step away if he needs to.
Sure. Yeah. So you prepare that as an action, and you begin your descent of the tower. So we'll cut over to Anya. So Anya, you were heading to the market to look for a half-elf woman. The human part being Shao, kind of Eastern descent, and obviously half-elf, called Grey, who is the resident thief, kind of sneaky person in the 9 Golden Swords. So yeah, you kind of, after about 10 minutes, you arrive at the market, and like I said, as you walk past, you know, still not no shops, not no customers, not nearly as many as during the day, but you know, still a fairly lively market space, kind of lit by lantern light. Yeah, what would you like to do?
I'll do a perception check.
Sure.
To see if I can see anyone that meets the description.
Yeah, go for it.
I've got 14.
14. Yeah, sure. So after about 15, 20 minutes of kind of searching, like I said, still a fair amount of people, and you know, elves and Shao people, still fairly common in the city. So you know, you kind of see someone who you think might be them, but then you realize they don't have pointed ears, so you're like, okay, well that can't be her. And you kind of keep looking. And eventually, you remember what Mumushi had told you, that this Grey makes kind of like, she used to be part of the 9 Golden Swords, but now she kind of makes her living, or not like a living, but she kind of spends her time kind of making an example out of like merchants, corrupt merchants, and things like that in the marketplace. So you begin looking for people who are maybe focused on particular merchants, or who are like lollygagging around particular merchants. And eventually, like after about 20-25 minutes, you see at first you appear to be just a Shao woman with kind of long blackish hair, kind of done into a low ponytail, and a hood, not up, but just kind of down on her back, and wearing light leathers. And you kind of watch her for a few moments, and you see as she kind of brushes some hair out of the way of her ear, you notice that her ears are pointed, though not like very large like a full elf, but quite stubbed like that of a half elf. So you think you've met your mark. But just to give you some time to think as well, we'll cut back to Samara. So, Samara, you kind of descend through the tower and kind of keeping track. All of the floors are around 10 feet in height, and after you kind of get to the 5th floor, you kind of feel like you're going below the water's surface. Like you think there might be some difference, but like you're starting to get deep. Like you think you're below the surface of the water at this point, so you're not entirely sure how deep into the water this tower goes. But as you kind of go, this place stays dusty and it stays dimly lit. It doesn't look, or at least none of the floors you've been in as you descend, they don't look particularly lived in. Make a perception check.
Sight?
Say again?
Are they using sight?
Yeah.
That's good. Doubles my bonus. That's a 9.
Good stuff.
Hate my life.
Nice one.
You eventually you get to, it's not the bottom. You just get to a floor where, like, and this place is dimly lit, so it kind of takes you a minute. But you notice just kind of in the corner of this room, like as you're kind of, not the corner because obviously it's spherical, but like just to the side of this room, and again mostly the same, kind of these diagonal latticework scroll cases with not full by any means, kind of a few odd scrolls but barely full, and some bookshelves here and there. You see kind of a large oak chair with a figure just kind of sitting in it, staring in your direction.
Keeping Misty
kind of
Step
cloaked in shadow.
ready. Keeping Misty Step ready. I'll kind of like, hello. I don't mean you any harm. I just want to talk. Is that okay?
Doesn't say anything.
Okay. Not a talkative type. I was sent by the drunken master. He said friends of yours, golden swords or something. Like panic, like Samara's like, he knows the information is correct, but he's like panicking at the same time, just trying to blurt out like key words to get him interested.
Mm-hmm. How close are you?
Like, so this, like, I'm probably like on the staircase still.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case he like, starts running for me and I can run up the stairs.
Yeah. A few moments of silence go past again.
I'll just sit down in the steps.
Make a perception check, reliant on sight.
That is a 24.
As your eyes kind of adjust to the darkness, and you kind of keep saying some odd words, just trying to encourage conversation. Your eyes kind of focus. Wait, do Aarakocra have dark vision? They don't, do they? I feel like we've been down this road.
Yeah, I
feel like
definitely
we should.
done it. I'll quickly have a quick scan.
I feel like I remember feeling like they should have dark vision, but they don't. I think that's what.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, so as your eyes kind of adjust to the darkness, you kind of slow down the words you're saying as you realize you're talking to a skeleton
I'm very
that's sitting
sorry,
in this
but
chair.
Yeah, I was wrong. It's dark vision of 60 feet.
Yeah, it will just say the same thing. You're kind of,
Yeah.
you're panning at the back. Yeah, you kind of slowly begin to realize this man is very dead, long dead, skeleton in robes, kind of skull tilted to the side, mouth ajar. Yeah, very dead. Presumably Raiko, Sopata Raiko.
I'll approach, and I'll let me look at my spells, because I feel like he's not dead. Oh, actually, I'll not approach. I'll cast Detect Magic.
Sure.
I don't trust this motherfucker. Do you need me to get you the actual description?
No, it's alright. Yeah, I mean, you detect the teleportation circle on the roof. You kind of detect some magic from some of the scrolls, not all of them. Some of them appear to be like, scroll in the real sense, like actual scrolls. But you see one or two scrolls that might be magic scrolls. Other than that, no.
Right, let me look at my spell list. What can I do? I'll just approach him, put my hand on his shoulder, and just kind of like...
So you kind of pad forward, very timidly.
Kind of like stood side by side with him, but with him sat in the chair looking this way, I'm like stood on his side looking behind him. So like if he was alive, we couldn't really see each other, but we'd know we're stood like right next to each other. And kind of just give out like a big sigh, like, well, I wasn't expecting this. I'll have a look around for what's like in the room, any valuables and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah. So going off your detect magic, you can see two scrolls. I will allow you to. You can have 2 scrolls of any first level spell if you want to. You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to work that out now, but just before next session, if you figure out 2 scrolls of any first level spell, and 1 scroll of a second level spell, which is on the floor above you.
I'll grab them all, and I'm gonna put them in his knee, and I'm gonna kneel down in front of him, not like not bowing, but just on my knees and looking up at him, and go, I don't trust magic, mainly because I'm smart enough to know that I could trick someone, so why couldn't someone trick me? I'm going to ask one more time. Can I please have these scrolls? If you're a dead man, you won't need them. And if you're alive, well then you can prove that I've asked you, and I'm not stealing.
A few moments go by. No response.
I'm going to take that as the latter. I'll grab them, and I'll walk all the way at the top, misty step out.
Sure. As you're walking off, we'll cut back over to Eartha. Eartha, in the city's east end, in Showtown, you find this small outdoor, exposed to the elements, kind of shrine to Shantea. You see kind of this kind of cartoonish, very small statue and altar. The statue kind of depicting Shantea as kind of this motherly figure, almost like cherubic in many ways, and very agricultural, and things like that. And you see this one woman who seems to be kind of the keeper of the shrine, kind of grey hair into a bun, with these greenish yellowish kind of green robes with yellow accents, kind of not like a big flowing robe, kind of fairly tight, kind of very kind of like Asian in inspiration, with kind of some figural work on it. And yeah, she seems to be kind of preparing something. You see her kind of collecting some things, kind of keeping some incense alight, but then in between things, she's kind of she seems to be gathering something into a pouch. And yet you're kind of watching from 20 feet away. She doesn't seem to have noticed your presence.
Excuse me?
She kind of stops for a moment, and she turns to you. I will be... Oh. Yeah, what can we do to help?
I was sent by Mamushi.
You kind of see... She kind of... Make a... insight check.
I was going to say, can I make a check to see how her facial reaction is, just to make sure she's not pretending to be someone else? That's a natural 20.
Sure, natural 20. What's that altogether? I bet it's comically high.
28. I've got a plus.
Oh, I thought your perceptions were like crazy.
You said insight though.
That's what I did. No, yeah.
Insight is a +7. Still pisses me off.
Yeah.
It's a +8.
So you see kind of a roller coaster, kind of a very quick roller coaster of emotions kind of flush through it. You see kind of a smile, like a genuine smile, that then very quickly changes into a grimace, like a begrudging, so this is the day, like a real, for fuck's sake, like a real pissed off grimace, and then transforms again into a imitation of the smile, this time being a fake smile, but you think the first time you saw it was genuine. So genuine smile, grimace, fake smile, kind of within 4 seconds. Very quick change.
I see that was
what
a roller coaster
does he
emotions.
want?
He's asked me to come get you, along with 2 of my mates getting 2 others.
I'm busy. And she kind of lifting the pouch limply. I've got things to do.
He wants help with dealing with some slavers.
I don't do that anymore.
What happened to the 9 golden swords, if you don't mind me asking?
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
That's just like a genuine question.
Yeah, just because she can see you're a person of faith, so that's where the advantage comes from.
Yeah.
He respects you.
22.
The 9 golden swords started as a team of people protecting the deprived and poor people of the East End. And the golden swords still exist today as a group of thieves and marauders that torment cities on the Dragon Coast and in Cormyr because we took on too many members and it got away from us. So the 9 golden swords are gone because of our hubris. And I'm probably somewhat to blame, but I think everybody else was far more to blame. And so doing anything with them is the last thing I want to do. But she kind of puts the pouch down on the altar, and you kind of make a perception check. I don't even know why I ask. I know it's going to be like 65.
142.
29.
29. You can see she's been filling it with coins, and the shrine doesn't appear to be bringing in, any big coins. These aren't like platinum pieces, gold coins, not even like electrum. These are like vastly copper, and a few pieces of silver in there. She's kind of like scrounging some change together, where she kind of lets it rest, and you can kind of see in the opening of this small pouch. Later on, she kind of looks to the sky for a moment, kind of trying to tell the time. In fact, rather soon, 2 men are going to come by here and try and strong-arm some money from me. If you get them to go away and not come back, I will come with you tonight.
So when you say not come back,
I will make myself disposed, walk away and return here in half an hour. If you can get them to go peacefully and not return peacefully, all the better. if you have another method, I won't turn my nose up. Do we have a deal?
Yeah, I can do that.
Very good. She kind of takes the pouch as it is and ties it to her sash, her belt, and says, and looks.
Before she goes, I also want to give her 4 electrum pieces.
Ah, very good. This is one of the largest donations I think we've ever received.
One cleric to another.
You want to know something a little sad?
What?
I don't have a single gold piece. Electrum is my most high profit money.
Buddy, so is mine.
And so I forget Electrum exists.
Yeah.
I mean, I have all the gold, but I don't feel like giving it out.
Yeah.
She kind of observes. She kind of looks at you for a minute, looks you up and down. Kind of, you can see her kind of specifically looking at your armor and at your kind of symbol. Yes, thank you.
I would then like to go
I'll
kneel in
return
front of the
shortly.
altar. Just
you kind of, as you see her walk away, kind of grateful. But you do notice as you kind of kneel, she does kind of stop and observe you for a moment before continuing on. Would you like to make a prayer of any kind, or?
I just want to pray to my God, not really about what's about to happen, but more any.
You walk into their church and you pray to your God.
Yeah.
You disrespectful son of a bitch.
I don't care. I'm doing the job. I've got my God. I've got my faith. I'm not you. I don't hop from coin to coin. I would then like to pray to see if I can get any advice or any form of insight towards where the key is gone, or where I could find him, or where he is going. Even if it's a riddle, I just want to know. I'm assuming you're probably going back to Ammon or something, but it doesn't even have to be now. It could be when I'm sleeping or something. I just want to know. See if it gets through. I know I'm still at a low level, so
Sure.
there's next to no chance, but...
Sure. Yeah. So, word of prayer for me. Word of kind of. It doesn't have to be exactly what you're saying, but just walk me through a thought process that's closer to what Aether is saying in his kind of either out loud or in his head. Is it out loud or in his head?
It will be in his head, because he wants to be kind of mysterious when there's people come up to him. But it's basically be along the lines of, I know I've messed up, but you've given me the ruby for a reason, but I really need your help right now to locate this key again. I should have done something different and it didn't go well, but even if it's just an area or somewhere I could locate the person who has it, that would be perfect. Just kind of along those lines. But obviously more respectful and not as desperate.
Yeah. Sure. You kind of sit. How are you kneeling? Are you one knee, both knees, sitting? What's the vibe?
Both knees.
Or standing?
Both knees, holding my sword in front of me.
Cool. After a few short minutes of doing that, you hear a, "Oi! Get up!"
I'm gonna put one finger out like that.
You hear kind of a, "What the fuck's he thinking he's?"
And now get up.
Fuck it. Who are you?
Simple traveler.
As you turn around, you see kind of these two might as well be carbon copies of the same person, just two kind of generic meathead thugs you've seen in every city you walk through. Kind of the kind of, they look like a dock worker. They've got big hairy forearms, rolled up sleeves. They look like every kind of bruiser criminal you've ever seen, just kind of shouting obscenities at you.
Okay. So
where's the money?
Don't know what you're on about.
Where's the lady? She gives us the money.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot. You're gonna stop that? Because that's not very helpful, you taking money from people who barely afford themselves.
If we don't get the money, our boss is going to be pretty pissed off. So I think we're going to take the money.
And who is your boss?
You don't want to know our boss.
I do, because I've just asked. So who's your boss?
Not from around here, are you?
You don't look like I'm from around here.
No, you don't.
I'm just gonna...
I've seen your type here before. All in red, right through like you own the place. The immortal will make short work of you.
The who?
Where's our money?
Like I said, I don't know. I would like.
Would you like to?
What?
Yeah,
No,
yeah. I just wanted to ask if you were, if you want to resolve this with combat, or if you want to try and do anything else.
I want to first cast command at 2nd level, which will hit both of them. And
Sure.
And say the word kneel.
Sure. At least it's not forget.
Oh, I was so tempted to do that one. So they must make a wisdom saving throw. And I'm assuming these people aren't very wise by the sounds of them.
No, they are not. And neither are my dice, apparently. They both very much fail. So yeah, you kind of, as he's kind of, the immortal will make short work of you, and you kind of kneel. They both kind of like look at each other and scoff, and then they both kind of like one falls to one knee, and then the other just falls completely to both knees, and they kind of look at each other in like a moment of complete fear, as now they're like shoulder to shoulder, kneeling in front of you, about 7 to 10 feet away from you.
I want to walk up in between them, but like not like in between them, but like slightly in front of them, in between them. Like
Yeah.
down on like one knee, so I'm kind of close. And go, right. Listen, I'm gonna ask you again to leave and not come back. I'm also gonna ask you that if your boss says otherwise, to send him looking for Eartha at the Colosseum. If in doubt, I will break his knees and then follow up by breaking both of your legs. And kind of like
make an intimidation check.
And then pat both of them like on the shoulder.
Sure, yeah. With advantage.
I don't need advantage.
Because you're commanded. Oh, well, fair enough.
Today's
Not
Get that cough out.
It's a natural 20 with a +2.
You kind of see one of them kind of like his face turns into a very like angry expression and goes to say something, and the other's like, "No, you got it. We're done. We'll find another shrine to steal from. We're all good. Plenty of shrines. Come on." And he kind of looks at you for a moment for the permission to stand.
I want to say one more thing before they go, not as like intimidation, but just like a reassurance that I will kill them if I have to. And I just want to go, if I can kill a lion with my bare hands, I don't think you two are going to be much of a problem. And then let them go.
Sure, yeah. One of them doesn't even stand up. He kind of like falls on his butt before he kind of turns over to skitter away, and the other one stands up straight away, and they both, start running off into the night. And yeah, is there anything else you'd like to do while you wait for Chukao to return?
Go into the same position that she left.
Yeah, guy's fucking dead.
Nice.
No one's seen him in 10 years, that's why. Cool, so
I'll wait
Ellis...
for the next book to be like, that guy's alive, I'm the key hero.
That's exactly... He's actually the main character. He's actually Ellis. Cut back in around here, Ellis. Okay, so Anya, you are looking through the market when you spy a woman, half elf, half Shao, that you think might be the individual who had been referred to as Grey, spelled like the color. yeah, she's kind of she's eyeing a merchant. There's kind of because it's kind of later on, it's like night, late, kind of mid-evening, early night. There's kind of a small group of people who are kind of at this merchant's stall, and she's kind of 5 feet back from that crowd, maybe 5-10 feet back, kind of watching what's happening. And she matches the description of the woman that you were told.
Okay, I might kind of immerse myself into that little crowd,
Sure.
and kind of just get closer and see what she's doing while she's at the centre of it. Yeah, so I'll just worm my way through at the front, probably.
Sure. So yeah, you join this crowd. So she's behind the crowd, and you kind of walk past her, and push yourself to the front. And as you kind of get to the front, this merchant kind of gives you some acknowledgement. You see, he's quite a large man. Looks to be like, you know, similar skin tone to to you, kind of maybe from Waterdeep or Neverwinter, kind of a very in terms of real world, very Caucasian white. But yeah, he's probably from a similar place of the world as you. Kind of thinning hair on the top, but not bald. Brown hair, very quite fat, quite big features, and a big kind of handlebar mustache that kind of goes into a bit of mutton chops. And he's kind of these few people. Make a intelligence check really quick.
$14.
14. So yeah, this guy kind of acknowledges you. He's like, "Oh, hello, come on." And then he kind of goes back to what he's saying to some of the other people. You notice the 3 or 4, a little bit more than that, maybe 5 or 6 people that are gathered here. They're all Shao. They're all people of Eastern descent who are gathered here, and they appear to be not buying, but they're selling things to him. And as you kind of observe what they're kind of pushing across, a lot of them appear to be kind of not heirlooms, not priceless, but you know, kind of valuables, kind of family valuables that these people appear to be kind of flogging. And you notice a lot of these people appear to be quite meager, so this is kind of they're kind of selling some trinket, some family trinket for some money to buy food, so forth. Yeah, and this guy's just kind of you know, bartering with these people. He's like, "No, I'll take it for no less than," and he's going to someone else, and he's like, "Yeah, of course," and he's dragging it over and chucking some coin. He appears to be in a series of trades with these Shao people.
So as of right now, what is Grey doing?
She appears to be. She's moved slightly since you walked past. She's kind of gone. She's now not behind this little gathering. She's kind of to the left of it, but she's still just observing.
Okay. I'll probably move closer to her, stand next to her, and probably kind of say, "Oh, so what brings you here?" Kind of make just start a conversation.
Small talk. Small talk.
Yeah.
A few kind of seconds go by with no response, and then not turning to look at you, but just kind of tilting her head slightly so her mouth is more facing you. Do we know each other?
Not really, but I know of you, and that's why I'm here. Do you happen to know anybody by the name Mamushi?
She spits to the side into the dirt and kind of rubs her heel into it. Yeah, I know him. What do you want?
You see, we need you. I was sent to come and collect you. It's serious. We need your help with something.
Okay, I'll play ball, but you gotta help me first. Sound good?
It's the catch.
She kind of points ahead, kind of moves ahead forward to indicate the merchant. That fat bastard has made a living out of paying desperate immigrants a fraction of what they're owed for their family heirlooms, just because he knows how badly they need the coin, and they'll take the lower amount. But what he thinks nobody knows is he's hiding from someone, and we're going to use that to our advantage. I'll hang back here, look all intimidating, and you tell him that the white and black bird has come for its due. You got that?
Yes.
Make an intelligence check.
Okay.
You can continue that thought afterwards. I just don't want you to miss out on anything.
Oh god, that's really bad. I'm changing it. I'm doing another roll.
You get advantage because I'll tell you why.
Oh, right, okay. So hang on, I got 4, 5.
The white and black bird, is that not a magpie? Or is it, the magpie's not existing?
I think they might, but like I don't think that's what he's getting at.
Could be a penguin.
Can I do another roll? Both mine were really low.
Do you have any
Yeah, sure. You can use as many of your inspiration as you want.
Okay, give me. Right, come on, it has to be high. Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
I have to use them all because I get nat 1s every roll.
Yeah.
Do you want some of my 20s, buddy?
No, I'll just curse.
So what did you get,
too.
Jess?
I got 19.
19.
Yes.
Yeah, you being from Waterdeep, this is quite a familiar saying to you. So the white and black bird refers to a pretty powerful family, like a noble family in Waterdeep, called the Castellantes. So the way Waterdeep works is there is kind of a council. The city is run, it has an open lord called L'Oreal Silverhand, but beneath her there is a council of masked lords, so nobles, but nobody knows exactly who they are. They all wear masks to all of their meetings and public appearances, but the Castellantes are so powerful that they are rumored to be among the masked lords in this council. So yeah, you know the phrase, the white and black bird has come for its due, refers to the Castellantes coming for something they're owed. It's kind of probably a common phrase for anyone who's gotten on the wrong side of this family, mainly in Waterdeep. So it's kind of a bit weird they don't really have much power outside of Waterdeep, which is if this guy has crossed them, this might be why he's not in Waterdeep, because they don't really have that much power outside of it, but they've got a lot of money, so they can, but yeah, they don't have like holdings or anything outside of Waterdeep. So it's a bit weird for you to hear this far out, but yeah. So she says, I'll stand back here, look all intimidating, and you tell him that the white and black bird has come for its due.
And
got that?
Yeah. And so, were you sent by this family?
No, never met any of them. Haven't been to Waterdeep. Haven't really left Westgate, to be honest. But little birdie told me, and now I'm just using it to my advantage.
See. And then I guess is the merchant still? Does he still have like a gathering around him, or is it quieted down since then?
Yeah, it's about 4 have seemed to taken whatever amount he was offering and left. There's still 1 or 2. As you approach, the one leaves. So there's only one kind of middle-aged Shao woman who's kind of bartering with him. And as you approach, he's like, "Just be one moment. Can I help you, milady? Can I get you anything to sell to you?"
I don't know whether I just jump right into it, whether I should make small talk first.
Yeah, take some time.
If you want to be more intimidating, wait, am I allowed to help? Actually,
yeah, sure. Actually, Jackson, you can give some help, and then just to give Jess a minute to think, I'll cut back over to Ellis.
If you want to be more intimidating, imagine this happening in real life. Imagine a random stranger walking up to you and going, "The black and white bird are coming for you." If you make small talk first, it's not as intimidating. So if you want to be
Okay.
intimidating, just go outright. If not, don't.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, I'll give you a minute to think on it, Jess, and we'll come back to you, Eartha. So Eartha, you return. So did you say you were returning to that praying position?
Mhm.
A few moments go by. Those people. She said she'd be gone for about 15 minutes, and those guys came pretty quickly, and you had an interaction with them. So it kind of resolved itself pretty quickly. But after a few moments, you hear a.
I will stand up and turn around.
You see a dog, kind of staring at you. Sits.
You good? I'm just gonna say that to the dog.
About 20 feet away.
You good?
I mean, it can't speak back.
Oh,
So.
shit. Okay.
You expecting a talking dog? I know there's a talking lion, but that's a different scenario.
I was expecting that.
Damon comes back alive and makes a talking dog.
To quickly investigate the area without moving, like if there's anyone trying to sneak up on me.
Sure. Make a perception check.
31.
31. You kind of look around. There are very few, but there are a few people around. No one appears to be paying you any particular mind. The few people you see appear to be either coming to or from kind of odd doors leading up into their houses, or coming from or going into like some kind of unnamed seedy taverns or gambling dens. Very few people. No one seems to be paying you any particular mind as far as you can see.
I'm 20 feet.
You're kind of just tucked off the street in the shrine. Yeah, and the dog's kind of just sitting in the middle of the thoroughfare, kind of sitting now, looking at you, occasionally barking, about 20 feet away here.
Does it look like it's on the street kind of dog, or is it like an owned dog, like groomed, looked after, kind of?
I wouldn't say groomed. It's to be more specific, probably should have started with this. It's a kind of a mastiff, kind of a not like a show dog, or like a less pet-like, more like bulldoggy, more like war dog almost. It's just it doesn't look groomed, but it doesn't look like malnourished or anything that you would associate with poverty, or anything that you would associate with the height of luxury.
I'm gonna follow it.
Just kind of a middling.
Gonna follow it.
Sure. As you approach, the dog stands and begins a gentle run down a back alley.
Actually, before it goes, I'm gonna leave a note saying we'll be 2 minutes on the shrine.
Sure. You whip out some parchment, scribble on it, and leave it sitting on the altar.
The dog.
Sure. So you kind of spend a few minutes, probably like 2 or 3 minutes, kind of zigzagging through some back alleys, crossing some thoroughfares in the East End, before you eventually get to kind of the heart of some alleys, kind of a very dark, this alley kind of goes out onto other alleys. It's not connected in itself to any other thoroughfare. It's just kind of the space between buildings. And this dog kind of sits at the kind of one of the exits from this shadowy place, and kind of motions its head to the right. And you kind of see it pointing, not like pointing physically, but with its form, kind of pointing at a glove lying on the side of the next to a building, kind of just on a brick.
Do I recognize the?
Appears to have been discarded. Make a intelligence check with advantage.
That is a unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. Yeah, you recognize the glove. You found its other match. You found its pair in the base of the quivering thumb earlier in the day.
Right.
It kind of pushes your knee, kind of scratches its head against your knee, asking for a stroke.
Yeah, I'll pet it and say thank you.
Runs off.
Did Fuckface have any like jewelry on him, like something that he wouldn't, that even if he had armor on?
Make an investigation check.
I'm assuming he probably just inspiration. It's better. That is much better.
Who's Fuckface supposed to be?
I can't remember his name. The guy who nicked, because I don't know his name. The guy who
the issue is
Gregor or something like that. Gregor.
The guy
That's
who.
the guy who nicked the key and like kidnapped our
I
friend.
don't think his name's Gregor. Gregor is the guy who's dead, isn't he?
Oh, great. Was that the fake alliance?
Yeah, the guy said his name was Gregor, but you're not. Yeah, you don't know if he was lying. Like maybe he was just taking the name of the dead cleric he was impersonating, or maybe that was his name. You're not sure.
That's the issue when Ellis starts speaking about people. Everyone's dickhead.
Pretty much.
Just a lot of dickheads.
Yeah. But this guy is a real one.
No.
27.
27. Yeah. So you're kind of holding the glove in your hand. Do you have the match, or is that somewhere else?
I left that, unfortunately. I didn't think it was important, so I left it.
No, it's all right. You're kind of just looking. You're kind of like turning the glove over in your hand. You quickly recognize. Pardon me. You quickly recognize it as the match. You know, it was only earlier today, and you didn't sleep when Samura kind of got his few hours rest. You were just kind of kicking it. But you do notice, you don't think this was on the other one, but you can't be 100% sure. On the inside, kind of where the glove would go, imagine where the inside of the glove would be, kind of here. You see it kind of, I'm forgetting the word. Is it monogrammed? You know, like kind of inscribed in the glove, kind of sewn in. You see the initials RA, or the letters RA, which you can probably assume to be initials.
RA, right. Yeah, but did I remember if the guy had anything on him that I could, maybe locate object? Because I don't think he'll have the armor on anymore. I feel like he's probably dumped that.
The closest thing, he didn't have any jewelry on display, and he was wearing the full, plate armor of the Red Knight. But he did have tied up hair, so he had hairbands in, kind of some adornment to kind of keep his hair up. You didn't get a good look at it, but like you saw it.
Would I be able to recognize it for the spell?
Sure, for the locate object.
Yeah, I would like to cast locate object on that. Maybe double check the range. I don't have it in there because I didn't have it. I believe it's 300 feet or 1,000 feet.
Locate object is 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet then. Which is about 300 meters or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, 1,000 feet. Yeah, locate object 1,000 feet on that.
Checking maps, checking notes.
Well, that means it may not be within 1,000 feet, but he knows it's not cities away.
I'm also checking my notes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. You do not detect the hairband within 1,000 feet of you. Oh, actually, wait, 2 seconds. 2 seconds, actually. Give me a second.
It's probably just outside of range.
It might be on the slaver ship, for all we know.
Well, if he's... I don't know.
Could be his way out of the city. They come in with a slave and then they leave with him.
You detect the presence coming from one of the interiors of one of these kind of seedy backroom locales that you had passed on the way into the alleys. Kind of one of these, places that has a kind of a grimy looking bouncer out front that kind of lets a person out every few minutes.
Do I know which room?
You don't know anything about that. You just know you kind of detect it coming from one of the buildings that you passed. You kind of find it again on your way back to where you came from, and you see kind of this one doesn't have a guy in front of it, but it's got one of the, like those slidey bits in the door. You see kind of coming from inside of there.
I'm going to knock on the door.
No response.
How heavy does the door look?
Not very heavy. It doesn't look like a. It doesn't look like a. What I'm forgetting of a word. The slide looks. It doesn't look like the door was made with having the kind of the eye slide in mind. That looks like a later feature. This door doesn't look like. This looks like a personal, like a door to lodgings. This looks like a house door rather than an establishment door. It doesn't look to have like that much security. You see a light come on upstairs.
I'm going to knock again.
"30 seconds go by. A window opens 10 feet above you. Well, 15 feet. Who's there? We're closed.
But I need someone to stay quite badly. Can you see me?"
He can see you. The light from the room is kind of behind him, so you can't really make out too much without making a perception check, but you think he can see you.
Please, I really need someone to stay. I'm being followed. This isn't a good time. I'll pay quite a lot if you've got a spare room.
You'll want to find an inn.
No, I'll be found in an inn. I can't go there.
The window closes. The light stays on. 30 seconds go by. The eye slide opens. You see Shao eyes, Eastern descent eyes, kind of staring at you, kind of blinking every few seconds. "Why are you here?"
I've been framed for something I didn't do, and I need to just lay low up until I can sort it out.
"Why knock here on my door?"
I don't know, it just seemed appropriate. It just looked right.
"I can't help you. This isn't an inn. I don't have a spare room."
Then what is this? Why do you have the latch? You look like...
"This is my house."
Then why do you have the ice piece though? It looks like an inn.
He just
my
rocks up
business.
this.
"For my business.
Well, what business do you have?
I'm a barber."
Fuck.
Oh.
Alright, I'll cut the chase. I'm looking for someone, and I cast Detect Object, and it was coming from here. Are you hiding anyone? He stole something from me,
No,
and I
I'm
need it back.
Not hiding any. Who are you?
Doesn't matter who I
Detective
am.
work I've ever seen.
That flipped real quick. Right, look. Did you cut anyone's hair who was kind of long black hair, close-shaven face, kind of stocky, from maybe Amen or that kind of area?
Yes, earlier today.
What was his name?
Can I just say, while Brad's looking at this, that is the best detective work. You walked up to a random man's home, was trying to pay him for you to sleep on the floor, and then halfway through went, "Look, let's change the subject. I'm a detective."
Right. I was just gonna, as soon as I got in there, I was gonna see which room he was in and just boot the door down. As soon as I found out he wasn't and he was just a shopkeep, and chances are if he's a hairdresser, he's probably cut his hair so it's not long anymore, and
Yeah.
it's now just left the hairband here.
I really like the idea that you were like, this isn't an inn. And like you, like in game, you visibly walked up to a very non-inn building.
Well, no, because it's backstreet shady stuff. I was like, you know, when you see like those shady pubs where they got like the door hatches and like movies and that. I was like, oh, it's one of those. It's one of those shady pubs. It'll be fine. No,
It's still fun.
Okay. A few moments go by. And this wasn't prepared, like what I'm about to say. I want to give you, because you did the prayer and everything, I want to give you a little something and go on. And I want to give you some pieces to the puzzle so you can actually try and put it all together. Hold on. The eye shut comes across again. And a few moments later, hearing the door opens. This, like, not old, but like aging man in kind of his bedrobe, kind of ties up his robe, kind of comes out into the chilly night and closes the door behind him. I remember him. Yeah, he came by. He had all of his hair cut off. That whatever you're locating is probably in a bin upstairs somewhere.
Yeah.
All of his, he won't look anything like he did before. All of his hair, all of his facial hair cut off. No, I remember. It was peculiar. When I asked him his name, he asked me to call him Mr. Amin. A-M-I-N. Usually people give me their first names, but he said Mr. Amin.
Bitch. Right. Do you know where he was going? Did he make any kind of talk to you, like small talk, or was he just dead silent the whole way through?
He wasn't talkative, though. I mean, I suppose it was odd having all of his hair cut off, but this is the kind of people I do business for. There's not a lot. Everyone here has done something wrong, but no, he didn't say much, not in particular, but he did say he wasn't staying in Westgate. He said he was getting his hair cut for the road, that he wouldn't be around a barber for long, so he was getting it all off to grow on the road, as not to overheat as we're going into spring and summer.
What kind of clothes was he wearing?
Not armor.
So he's dumped that.
It was dark browns and blacks. Not robes either, just clothes, regular clothes. But yeah, dark. I suppose he looked roguish, but I didn't take him for a thief when I saw him. He held himself in high esteem.
Right. I want to see if I'm thinking if there's any more questions I need to ask him.
Yeah, no worries.
Did he have like a box on him or a key?
I don't recall a key. He wore something around his neck. I saw the chain, but I didn't see the adornment. He had a satchel, a bandolier, but it didn't look particularly full. There might have been a box inside, but I mean, it didn't look particularly full, like I said. I didn't see a key or a box, no.
Right. Okay.
Oh! He did say something. He said something about his sister.
His sister?
Yeah. What was it? He was going to see her, I think. Something was happening. He had to go and see her, some reason. He had some cause to go and visit.
Do you know...
Some occasion.
Did he say where?
No. He didn't... He talked about travel. Not in detail, but he did mention travel. I don't think he was getting a ship. I think he was leaving the city on horseback or by foot or with a a caravan, but not by ship.
So it could
If
be
that helps.
going to Amen. Talking to DM, I've seen a world map, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
So
Did travel half of it.
yeah. So Amen, that would be easier just to walk the whole way, wouldn't it? Not walk, but like horseback rather than take the long way around through boats and that.
yeah. I mean, technically, let me consult a map really quick. Because currently you are on an inland ocean. I don't think you can even physically get there via a ship. Let me double check that, just so I'm not giving you any false info.
Because I've got a theory. He's the Prince of Amen.
No, you cannot. You cannot get to. I mean, I'll send you a just to.
It's on
I mean, anyone who's watching.
It's on Google Things.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just. Yeah. So anyone who's watching this can just pull up a map as well. But if you can find, are you looking at a map?
Yeah,
Actually, look
they won't see it.
at the one that has circa 1358 in the brackets. You see that one?
1358. I do.
So you see the big desert at the top called the Honor Rock?
Yeah.
Just below that, you see Cormier.
Mm-hmm.
And then across from the Dragonmere, underneath Cormier, you've got the Dragon Coast with Westgate all the way to the right. So that's where you currently are. If you look kind of just below Westgate and to the left, you'll see kind of just down from that Ammon in big letters, because that's the country.
Yeah, I see it. It's quite a way.
So even horseback, that's like a long way. That's a little bit further than your original journey from Westgate to Baldur's Gate. And the terrain is, it's a lot more. And if he's not Ammon, if he's from Kalimshan, if you look all the way to the bottom of that map, Kalimshan is all the way down there. And that's like, these things are a world away. These are like, to physically travel there, though, these are like, that's a giant, like a huge undertaking.
Right.
But yeah, something about his sister. He said he had some cause to visit, some occasion. He was enthusiastic, I suppose, though he really didn't go into detail. He just mentioned he was going to visit his sister next. Yeah, some occasion. He had a gift, I think, though I didn't see it on him.
That bitch. The gift is
What
what
is
he
that?
stole from me.
Yeah, that could be a clue.
Alright, you've been very helpful. I'm going to give him 2 electrum pieces and say sorry for, intruding on all the problems and cause a bit of a fuss.
Thank you. That's very kind. It makes it well worth it. He kind of pockets it in his robe pocket. Well, I hope you find what you're looking for.
I hope I do too. Otherwise, everyone's going to be in a bit of trouble. And
Good night.
sleep well, buddy. And I'm going to start walking
He
back
goes
to
to
the
close
shrine.
the door. Sure. The door opens again. It's a wedding. It's his sister's wedding.
No.
His sister's wedding.
Oh,
Wait,
And he closes the door.
no. No.
No.
What?
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I'm pretty
So-
sure the guy. Oh, never mind.
No, it's not his sister's wedding. He's going to my brother's wedding to...
Oh, it could be his sister.
No, he's
You
gonna
don't
go.
know that.
No, he's gonna go ruin it. I can already see, because if he's going by horse, it could be Ammon, it could be Kalimshan, or it could be towards Baldur's Gate.
That's the journey you did, Westgate to Baldur's Gate,
Yeah.
on horse.
He also has 56 days to get there. It's gonna take about a month to 56 days to get there, and that will give him time to prepare as well. Because it ends in
All you
56
know.
days.
For all you know, it could be her actual brother. To be fair, your brother's soon-to-be wife could be in on it.
I doubt it. I seriously doubt that.
can be bad news. You need to send in Ramas.
I do. I was going to
So-
send in him, but
I'll give you some time to think and figure out what you want to do. So, Jess, we left you hanging a while ago, so we'll pick up with you again. So, yeah, this guy approaches you. We freeze in that moment where he's like, are you selling something? Are you looking for something to buy? And he kind of flashes a smile at you as you stand before him at his stall.
So is it? Am I to say the white and black bird expect? Is it Jew as in something's Jew, or is it Jew as in shalom? Couldn't understand what you said.
So the exact was the white and black bird has come for its due. So
Okay.
so like come for what it's owed.
Okay.
You can say any, as long as the white and black bird has come for, give me my fucking money. As long as as long as the sentiment gets across, there's not like one exact phrase. Just the white and black bird wants what it wants. Some variation of that.
Okay. So yeah. Obviously already with him. I'll just say, the white and black bird expect its due. And that's it.
You kind of see. He kind of backs up for a minute. Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Okay.
Jade's
Not
there
really.
with you as well. You've got Jade, so don't worry about getting into a fight.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I don't think I'd be a very intimidating person.
Jade can lay
Ooh.
Yeah,
hands.
Jade and Grey are just kind of standing 10 feet back,
Can I-
arms crossed.
I
Just realised
know Saburo can't exactly see Jade, but can I, just because I kind of play Jade as well,
Sure, you can play Jade, yeah, sure.
can I make Jade walk up, stood right behind Jess and, punch her fists in front of Jess, so, it's hugging Jess at the same time?
Yeah, protective, sure.
Yeah. Protective, but
What did you
aggressive.
get, sorry, Anya?
27. I forgot I have +8, so.
Yeah, that's good. He kind of steps back and changes from this kind of greedy smile to this kind of sullen, withdrawn, oh, okay, all right, just give me a moment, if you will. And he kind of hobbles back, and you kind of see him begin counting coins and putting them in a pouch.
Mm.
And he kind of slides them across to you. I think that's everything. I'll leave Westgate by first light tomorrow, if you don't. Are we good?
Should I signal Grey over
You
and just do
You can do
that?
that.
Or something? I'll just signal her over because I'm not sure. It's not my
Sure.
It's not my
Grey
business.
approaches.
So yeah.
And he's like, you're with her? I guess low life stick together. And Grey kind of grimaces well, by that logic, we should be friends, Giles. And she kind of pulls the pouch forward, opens it. It'll do. But if you want this money to reach the castle enters at all, you'll give us a little something on the side too. And he kind of crooking his neck, he turns around and takes a few coins out of his earnings pouch. 50 gold pieces each sound, eh? Does that work? 75. She kind of looks at you and she's like, 100. 100 gold. Okay, 100 gold pieces and a silver each. And he kind of pushes it across to you. So you can add 100 gold pieces and a silver, Jess.
Yeah.
Are we good? Grey, kind of. Perfect, Giles. We're perfect. And like you said, out of Westgate by first light tomorrow. Out of Westgate by first light tomorrow. And he kind of begins packing his things while Grey pulls you aside with your earnings. Okay, fine. I guess if we're getting the gang back together, I'll be there. Where are we going? I'll follow wherever we're going.
Yeah, we're just to meet back at the harbour, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you guys just going to make your way back?
Well, I need to make my way back to the shrine to actually meet it first.
Yeah, you've been doing, sure. So, Eartha, we'll cut back to you since you're the only one with unresolved stuff. So, so you're making your way back to. So this guy says he's going to a wedding. It's a wedding, as he closes. Like he was closing the door, and he kind of remembers, and he's like, "Oh, it's a wedding." And then he closes the door, and you kind of watch him go back upstairs a few moments later, and the light turn out.
Now you
as you kind of stand there, just kind of ruminating.
I would love to cast Sending. However, I have a bit of a dilemma. Because I cast Command at level 2 and Locate Object, which is a level 2 spell, I can't cast Sending. So I'm going to have to hold on to this information for a little bit.
But Sending's a level 3 spell.
Thank you, Jackson. I read my sheet wrong. I read the 2 and I was like, oh, Jackson, Thank you, Jackson.
You're a silly man, Ellis.
I'm also very ill.
I was so confused.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Ah, there you are. Hey, it's not his. No, I was wrong. It's not his sister's wedding. It's just it's a wedding. It's a family wedding.
No, it's not a family wedding. It's my family wedding, and he's gonna do something. Thank you. I'm gonna start like.
But as you see, but his sister is there. It's his sister is at the wedding. They're all going to the wedding. Sorry, I got confused. I thought it was odd that he'd mentioned it. I got the details confused. Good night. Good luck.
Oh no, thank you. Oh, okay. I would like to cast. Hold up.
Oh, these are the moments where I wish I could remember what the fuck we saw in them crystal alternate dimension.
Oh,
things
those were
happened a while ago.
things that would happen. Those are things that could have happened but didn't happen.
Yeah, but that was a
Swear to
wedding.
God, it's that bitch Aurelia, something like that.
Was a wedding, yes, shit. I would like to cast. What was the little girl's last name? The one who gave us flowers, and one of the very first episodes.
See what I was thinking.
Is her name Amen? Bradley's also frozen.
No.
Leave it what? No.
It's not.
Great. Can you not hear me?
Oh no, we're
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
it's
it's a bit jumpy, but we're getting there.
Can you hear me? I'll keep talking.
We can
Let me
hear
know when
you,
it sounds
but
good.
Oh, there we go.
it's alright.
Okay, it's fixed now. Right. I would like to send
It was it was Mort, M-O-R-T.
So that's it doesn't matter then. I would like to cast Sending to Ramas, despite
Sure.
knowing the time.
Sure, yeah. It's not too late. It's like 9-ish.
Okay, that's fine. I've written down what I'm gonna say, so I've planned it out.
Cool.
The guy who stole the key is heading for wedding. Look for bald man in normal clothes. He just left the west gate. I would have put like by foot or something. Oh no, I can't. I could put by horse because I've got 2 left. So by horse at the end of that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll spread it around. Are you? Okay. I'm sure your information is reliable. We'll keep our eyes peeled.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to cast Send in one more time, just to be safe, and go, calls himself Mr. Amin, says his sister will be there. Do the initials R.A. mean anything to you? Stay safe. See you soon. Eartha. Even though he knows who it is, I just want to use all 25.
Mr. Ammon.
Yes. Can't hear that bit, I'm just gonna go, yes.
Yes, his sister is here. Who is this man?
I can't reply.
Did you not? Please tell me you said he stole the key.
I did. I said the very first thing. Guy who stole key is heading to wedding.
Okay, cool. Right.
But I can't reply to that, so
Not
it doesn't
reply?
matter.
You've also got no level 2 or level 3 spells
No,
for our fight
I
tonight.
have one level 2 spell.
Okay, nice.
Not that I'm going to use them anyway. I'll probably end up just using like my sword and my.
Yeah, I forgot the cleric who doesn't heal. Anyways,
But I
so what are we doing?
I don't have any. Oh no, never mind. I have one level 2 healing spell, and that's it. Oh, I have Cure Wounds, which is level 1.
Yeah.
Samurai,
Yes.
you back onto the roof of the tower. You kind of, having completed your task, get ready to return when you hear a sending come through into your mind. Samurai, it's Ramas. Are you with Arthur? Who is Mr. Amin? Who is this person? Who is coming?
Right. I'll reply.
Would you be able? Would Samurai be able to guess that it's the guy who stole the key, or would he have to play completely dumb?
It's a bit of a stretch.
It is a stretch.
How intelligent are you, Jackson?
I have got 20.
Make an
but it's too
intelligence
much of a
check,
stretch.
straight roll, and if you get a natural 20, I'll say you can connect the dots.
Oh,
I kind of rolled that. It was kind of cocked, but not really. So I'm just gonna say it was a 3.
Sure. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Obviously, you weren't there. You don't know
Yeah.
what he's talking about.
Um.
I'll say you can probably assume if him and Ramas have been having a conversation and he's now messaging you, if has probably run out of spell slots. You can probably assume that.
Sorry, I don't know. Split up right now. I'll sending you back once I meet with him. And then that's it.
Sure. You get one more. Thank you. Please let me know as soon as you can. This is troubling news. If he's involved.
oh.
I don't know who this person is, but I need to know before I act.
Can I can I reply to the second sending spell saying, "Why didn't you just send these to Arthur?" And then just not. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
He's got a good point.
Yeah. Now he's gonna feel dumb. It's gonna be funny. I'll stop flying back.
Because that means you only get 50 more words. Can
you guys hear him?
he has no reason to assume you'd be set.
I can't. I
Yeah, he doesn't have no
can't.
reason to assume we're separate.
You guys think reason for you? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
It-
I can.
No.
Yeah, now. Yeah. Glitching before.
Cool.
Cool. Right, I'll fly back.
Oh,
Sure. We'll cut back to Itha. Yeah.
yeah. I'm just running back to the shrine.
You said, "Oh,
Oh, because it looked like he was
Okay.
frozen.
I'm just not moving very much. I don't have
Yeah.
much reason to move. I don't know if that's. And then you make it back to the shrine. You see Chuko waiting, kind of with the note you'd left, kind of flattened over and like folded over and kind of held in between two of her fingers as she waits for you. And as you approach, get distracted.
Something came up that's quite important. Sorry. But job well done.
Well, it seems you've done what I asked, so great. Then, where are we going?
Currently, we're gonna go to the pier.
Am I supposed to know? Or...
All I've been told is get you.
Okay. Great. Okay, let's go and see what he wants.
As we walk away, I'm gonna kind of like hold my amulet and be like, "Thank you," because obviously she sent the dog to help me.
Sure.
Didn't think it would work, but
And we'll say, generally, probably Samura gets back to Mumushi first, unless Samura says anything to Mumushi. He doesn't really engage you, but eventually Anya, Gray, and Jade, and then Eartha and Juko arrive. Yeah. Do you guys want to have? Do you guys get ahead and have a discussion, or do you want to go into some like you guys wanting to do?
I'll just say like Mushi and like the other two, because I presume they're probably like more talking to each other than us, or at least like like maybe not talking pleasantly, but some sort of discussion. I'll just say like I'm sorry I couldn't get the friend from the tower. Unfortunately, there's not much left of him.
You can kind of see Mumushi just kind of acknowledges it. Well, thank you for trying. That is all I asked.
Yeah, and that's it.
So are you guys not wanting to talk?
Oh yeah, I'll ask Eartha since he seems to not be asking me. Yeah.
Because you said you'd ask me first. I was like, oh right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look
That's
like physically. I was going to mention it after everything, but go ahead.
Yeah, so I mind blanked. I'm sorry. I should have asked.
Thank you.
Eartha, your brother sending me twice something about a Mr. Amin.
What? Message me.
I don't know. I actually said that to him.
Right. So basically, the guy who killed Gregor, who stole the key from us.
Yes.
Well, apparently his name's Mr. Amin. I found the other glove. I found his hairband.
Basically, just what Samura. The reason Ramas messaged you is because he assumed this wasn't going to be a quick conversation, and 2 messages wouldn't be enough. So he was going to go through Samura and then Anya.
Right. Right. Well, tell me about this Mr. Amin something.
Right. So, finally had contact with my god. They gave me a bit of help. I found this glove, which is a match to the one. Which is a match to the one that I found in the place, the killing room. If you look inside, at Object A, it has the 2 initials, RA. Right. I then decided, you know what? He might be close. I'll locate object on his hairband. Found it at a little shop. Knocked on the door. Helpful caretaker came down. Turns out, wasn't what I thought it was. So, turns out it was a hairdresser's. He is now completely bald, has no hair on his face whatsoever, and isn't wearing the armor. He is also apparently called Mr. Amin. Don't know who that is. He's not Gregor anymore, but he's Mr. Amin. He is also now currently heading what I believe to be to my brother's wedding to hurt them. Because apparently he's going to go give this gift to his sister. Okay. So the key is going to go to his sister. I'm assuming is probably a spy in the Red Knight kind of area.
Right, so I'm going to sending...
Did Anya and Samura see Gregor, or was it just Eartha? I think it was just Eartha.
Just Eartha, taken away.
Should I show them my sketch? So,
look at this fine piece of art.
So imagine this, but completely bald.
Okay, I get it, Ellis. I get it. I'll send them.
Keep wondering whether the woman is someone we already know.
Yeah. So make a Samura and Anya make a perception check. Eartha, sure. Actually, Anya, you have advantage.
Okie doke.
I'm honestly so good at this game.
Natural 1.
Jackson, do you want me to nominate some of my points to you?
Yeah, natural 1.
Oh,
natural one.
Ellis, so Jackson got natural 1. Ellis, what did you get?
35.
35.
Not even a natural 20.
Anya, what did you get?
13.
13. So Eartha, you kind of turn your ledger around and kind of show them this drawing you did of, presumably Mr. Amin. And, as you turn it around, you're closing it. And there is just something kind of familiar about it. Like, you saw him yesterday, but just like, I don't know. Just like the eyes, maybe the nose, just something kind of familiar about his face.
Can I do a history check to see if I remember his face from anywhere? Oh,
Make an intelligence check.
Oh, what was the guard lady's name?
Lisbeth.
What was her last name?
You don't know. She was quite young, about your age.
I would like to do a history check just to be sure if I have noticed these features.
Make an intelligence. History is like history.
Right, okay. Well, I'm going to use inspiration because I want to know. Better.
Imagine if there's no sister and he just transforms into a woman at the wedding.
What?
Just putting it out there. It's a theory.
Yeah,
nice one.
That's
17.
Jackson, you also make an intelligence check.
Yeah, of course.
17.
I know I'm
Dice.
physically blind, but can I also make an intelligence check? Or not?
Sure, you have disadvantage though.
Yeah.
Can I use one of my inspiration again?
Yeah, sure.
That's it. 14.
Oh, I got the same roll. Damn. Do
You've
it
got
again.
like 100 inspiration. Yeah.
Right.
I got a 19.
19 intelligence. Eartha, what was your thingy?
17.
17. Anya?
12.
12. You guys just, Anya, you kind of squinted it and you're not getting anything. You think, you don't say it, but you're like, it's probably the penmanship. He's probably missed something. This is probably the artist's fault. And Samara, you're like Samara, like when Eartha starts looking at it and like maybe vocalizes something like, no, there's something kind of familiar about this. And Samara, you're like, let me see it again, in your funny little bird voice. And he turns it around, and as he turns it around, he's holding the ledger like an open book, like kind of like this. You just grab a random book, kind of like that, and he's covering the bottom half of the face when he does it, covering the beard. And now with the beard covered, you kind of take a step back and you kind of squint at it again, and you kind of like with the long hair, the long black hair, kind of you're imagining, the description of the kind of like the ethnic description, like the Amnian or Kalashite. You do remember there was a woman at the Citadel. You didn't speak to her, but she was. All you remember is she was pregnant, and it looks a lot like her.
Yeah. Right, so
You do remember on the day where you went out on a ride with Saria and Eartha spent some time with Caitlin. You think Anya might have spent some time with the pregnant lady.
Anya, do you not think that looks like whoever the pregnant lady was from the Citadel?
Anya.
Oh my.
Now that you have a good look at now that you look at it, and it's kind of being like pointed out, you kind of like, you take a step back, you kind of move some of Eartha's fingers so it properly covers it, and it looks a lot like Verona, Uriel's wife. Uriel is one of Caitlin's. So Caitlin has two daughters, Saria, who is getting two children, Saria, who is getting married to Eartha's brother Ramas, and Uriel, who was married to Verona, who was from Little Kalimshan in Baldur's Gate, one of the shanty towns on the outskirts of the city. You remember she was pregnant at the time. I think you did some painting with her on the
I think I got a little bit of backstory on her as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think all you learned was that she grew up in Little Calimshan, which like how so in Westgate, Showtown is kind of a colloquial name for the East End. Little Calimshan is the name for one of the shanty towns outside of Baldur's Gate where all the Calimshite refugees live. I think that's about what you learned. And then she'd met Uriel, Caitlyn's son, while he was in Baldur's Gate, and they'd married years earlier, and now she lives with him at the thingy, at the Citadel, and she's pregnant.
Right. I'm going to turn to Samurai and go, send in Ramas and tell him that stuff. However, I want you to tell him just to watch her for now. Because I don't know if she is a part of this just yet.
So, okay, right. I'm going to send in Ramas, and I'm going to say to him that we believe it to be the pregnant woman's brother, due to similar looks. I also want to repeat Mr. Ammon. Stole the key. Is that fair to get in 25 words?
Yeah, sure. I'll yeah. We'll
and then I want to. Can I get the last bit in that Eartha says to watch, not act?
Sure.
Yeah, that's my 4 things.
Yeah. A few moments go by. Verona has never shown any sign of aggression or dissympathy with our cause. I cannot believe she is involved, like you say. But I will watch and wait for Mr. Amin, sorry.
Can I tell Samurai again? Because I'm assuming he said that back to us, right?
Sure. I'll send it out loud when I was sending it.
Yeah.
She may not be a part of it, though. She might just be like... He might not be happy with us, so he is going to force her to take the key. Because remember, whoever attunes to the key will become quite angry and wrathful and will change.
I'm going to look at Jess and go, well, I've already cast something today. I guess it's your turn.
Okie dokie. What else needs to be passed on?
Just that bit of Ellis saying that she may not be directly involved, but we still believe her to be sister and brother.
And that he might be trying to change her by giving her the key. Hell, it might even be the child at this point that he wants to change. Wait, is she a cleric?
Yeah, we'll assume it's faster. Actually, Jess, make a intelligence check with advantage. I'll try and give you as much information as I remember from your interaction, just to see how. Because, in game, it's been about a month since then, maybe a bit more, to be honest. But also, while this is happening, we'll assume Anya is relaying using sending to Ramas. What you've said. So what did you get, Anya?
18.
18. Yeah, so as far as you remember, Eartha had went to spend some time with Caitlyn. Samurai went with Caitlyn's daughter, Saria, to kind of do something out in the fields. And you had stayed with Uriel and mainly his pregnant wife, Verona. And you'd kind of learned, you didn't really talk about your pasts. She kind of asked you where you were from. You'd asked her where she was from. And she'd kind of told you in passing detail, just that she was born in very close by, less than a day's ride, Little Calimshan, not in the country of Calimshan, but in Baldur's Gate. Just that, she'd escaped a worse life with Uriel and was now living a better life than kind of the life of a shifty, the poverty life of someone in the slums, where you have to steal, you have to kill sometimes, you have to do shady stuff to get by. So yeah, she kind of escaped that life, and now she was, living, she's happy, she's married, she's pregnant. Yeah, and I think you did some painting or something like that on the battlements of the citadel, kind of while the weather was nice. Yeah, so you relay Uther and Samara's words to Ramas, who just kind of quickly responds with a yes, that's. I agree. I don't think she's involved. I can't. I've known her a long time, and Uriel's a smart man. He would have noticed if something was wrong. But I'll watch, and I'll protect her if he shows up and he has ill intentions. Thank you for letting us know. I'll make sure Caitlin is informed.
Right, well, at least we know where the key is going. Hopefully.
You see kind of Mumushi is like, are you done?
Yeah, sorry.
Very good. You notice just out the corner of your eye, these three, Mumushi, Chukao, and Gray, they haven't been talking. Gray and Chukao have kind of exchanged a few words, but it's been like icy, like uncomfortable. They've just kind of been, rather than having their own conversation, they've just been watching you guys have your little drama and kind of text your other friends. They did not want to talk, and they did. You get the particular impression that they do not like Mumushi particularly. But then, so Mumushi kind of looks among you. Well, we are one less than I had hoped, but we press on. The Nymph's Bosom, a trading ship operated by House Vamos, is secretly being used to transport slaves. It leaves port tomorrow at dusk. We must worm our way on board and lead a coup when they are out to open water, so that Vamos cannot quickly send reinforcements. Rest tonight. We act tomorrow. And we'll end the session there.